Every single one of us has bad habits that silently kill our potential habits, that drain our focus, destroy our confidence, and keep us stuck in the same cycle every single day. But here's the truth. Nothing will change until you decide to break them. You can't build a powerful life while being controlled by weak patterns. This video isn't about motivation for a moment, it's about transformation for life. Because if you can learn to master your habits, you can master your destiny. The difference between who you are and who you want to be lies in what you repeatedly do. Today, I'm going to tell you 5 powerful ways to finally break those bad habits, to destroy the excuses, take control of your mind, and become the kind of person who wins every single day. So listen closely. Your new life starts right here, right now. Way number 1, destroy the excuse before the habit. Destroying the excuse before the habit is the first and most important step to breaking free from anything that's holding you back. Because the truth is, your excuses are the roots that feed your bad habit. Every time you say, I'm tired, I'll start tomorrow, or I don't have time, you're giving your weakness permission to grow stronger. The excuse always comes before the failure. The mind builds a defense system to protect your comfort zone, whispering lies that sound reasonable, but are really chains in disguise. You'll never break a bad habit while protecting the story that created it. The moment I stopped negotiating with my excuses, my life began to shift. I realized excuses are the language of average people, and I refuse to speak it anymore. You can't fix a problem you keep excusing, because excuses are invisible walls you build around your potential. The more you defend your limitation, the more permanent it becomes. So I started catching myself the moment an excuse appeared. I don't have time became, I'll make time. I'm not ready became, I'll learn while doing. It's too hard became, that's exactly why I need to do it. I rewired my thinking to attack the excuse before it had a chance to settle. Because once an excuse takes root, the habit is already in motion. Excuses are comfort disguised as logic. They make you feel safe, but keep you stuck. And the only way to destroy them is with truth. Brutal, unfiltered truth. The truth that you're not tired, you're undisciplined, you're not unlucky, you're inconsistent, you're not too busy, you're distracted. When you accept that, you stop lying to yourself and start regaining power over your choices. Destroying excuses means taking full ownership. It means admitting that you are the problem, and therefore you are also the solution. It means cutting the cord between what you want and the lies that are stopping you from chasing it. Every time you kill an excuse, you take back control of your destiny. People say change is hard, but it's not what's hard as letting go of the comfort that excuses give you. Excuses protect your ego. They give you a soft pillow to fall on every time you fail. But real growth happens when you remove that pillow and force yourself to stand up no matter what. I stopped waiting for motivation and started moving through discipline. I realized no one cares about your excuses. The world only respects results. You can keep your excuses, or you can have success, but you can't have both. Every morning, I wake up and remind myself that every excuse I make today will become regret tomorrow. So I act before I overthink. I move before I doubt. I execute before I rationalize. Excuses are mental poison, and when you destroy them, you detox your mindset. You become dangerous because you no longer need perfect conditions to move forward. You start to rely on effort, not emotion. You stop hoping and start doing. So from this moment on, every time your mind gives you an excuse, recognize it as weakness begging for survival. Crush it instantly. Replace it with action. Replace it with courage. Replace it with truth. The habit dies the moment the excuse loses its power. Because once you destroy the excuse, nothing can stop you. Way number 2, replace comfort with challenge. Replace comfort with challenge, because comfort is the silent killer of potential, the invisible trap that keeps millions stuck in mediocrity while they tell themselves they're doing fine. Comfort feels safe, but it's the most dangerous place you can live. The truth is, nothing great has ever been built in comfort. Every champion, every visionary, every self-made success was forged in discomfort, in pain, in moments when quitting looked easier than continuing. The human mind is wired to seek comfort. It craves ease, pleasure, familiarity, but the soul grows through struggle. The body gets stronger when it's pushed. The mind gets sharper when it's tested. The spirit becomes unbreakable when it's challenged. I learned that if I stay comfortable, I stay average. Every time I choose the harder path, waking up early, saying no to distractions, training when tired, working when uninspired, I build a version of myself that can handle more, achieve more, become more. Challenge is not punishment, it's preparation. Every challenge you face is a mirror, showing you how much more you can take. When you replace comfort with challenge, you stop living on autopilot and start living intentionally. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. You begin to crave pressure because you know that pressure creates diamonds. Comfort is where dreams die slowly, not with pain, but with distraction, laziness, and delay. People say they want change, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. You can't have a strong body with weak discipline. You can't have a powerful mindset with easy habits. You can't live a legendary life with a comfort zone routine. Growth demands discomfort. It demands sacrifice, failure, effort, and repetition. The moment you stop running from challenges and start chasing them, life starts rewarding you differently. You develop resilience. You build mental toughness. You stop being controlled by fear. Every challenge you face becomes a weapon in your hands because you realize pain doesn't destroy you, it strengthens you. Comfort tells you to rest. Challenge tells you to rise. Comfort says you've done enough. Challenge says you can do more. Comfort keeps you dreaming. Challenge makes you act. When you live in comfort, you build walls. When you live in challenge, you build wings. I started chasing challenge daily, physically, mentally, emotionally. I stopped asking for an easy life and started asking for strength. And that shift changed everything. I learned that growth hides inside what you avoid. So now, every time something scares me or feels uncomfortable, I run toward it because that's exactly where the next level lives. If you can learn to love discomfort, you become unstoppable. Because when others quit at the first sign of pain, you'll keep going. When they freeze, you'll move. When they break, you'll adapt. Replace comfort with challenge and watch how your entire life transforms, because success doesn't live in the comfort zone. It lives on the edge, where fear meets courage, and where average people stop, but warriors keep going. Number 3, build an identity that rejects weakness. Build an identity that rejects weakness. Because until you change who you believe you are, you'll keep falling back into the same patterns that destroy your progress. Every habit, every decision, every reaction you have comes from the identity you've accepted about yourself. If deep down you still see yourself as lazy, undisciplined, or broken, then no amount of motivation will save you. You'll always return to what you believe you are. So the real transformation begins when you stop identifying with weakness. You stop saying, I'm trying to be strong, and start saying, I am strong. You stop saying, I'm working on discipline, and start saying, I am disciplined. You stop identifying with your bad habits and start identifying with the person who has already outgrown them. Weakness dies the moment you stop giving it a name. The reason people stay stuck is because they build their identity around their limitations. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not confident. I can't stay consistent. But that's not the truth. That's just a story you've repeated so many times that it became your reality. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are who you choose to become right now. The strongest version of you is already inside, waiting for you to stop identifying with the weaker one. Building an identity that rejects weakness means you stop negotiating with mediocrity. You stop giving yourself permission to stay small. You start acting like the person you want to become, even before you feel ready. When I started telling myself, I don't quit, I don't waste time, I don't make excuses, my actions began to align automatically. Because identity drives behavior, not the other way around. Weakness thrives on self-doubt, but identity kills it. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your standards. So raise your standards so high that weakness can't survive in your system. When temptation shows up, your identity should reject it instantly. When laziness whispers, your mindset should answer, that's not who I am anymore. When fear tries to stop you, your identity should say, I've faced worse and I'm still standing. A strong identity creates automatic discipline because you no longer rely on feelings to take action. You act because it's who you are. Weakness is not an external enemy. It's a version of you that you've outgrown but haven't stopped entertaining. The moment you stop feeding that version, it starves. You build an identity that rejects weakness by surrounding yourself with strength, strong habits, strong thoughts, strong people. You train your mind daily to see yourself as unshakable. You reinforce that image with every decision you make, every challenge you face, every boundary you enforce. Every time you choose effort over comfort, you strengthen that identity. Every time you say no to weakness, you're saying yes to your higher self. The greatest power you'll ever have is to decide who you are and then refuse to be anything less. So build that identity, feed it with discipline, protect it with purpose, and wear it with pride. Let every action you take scream, I am not average, I am not fragile, I am not weak. Because when your identity rejects weakness, you stop needing motivation, you become the motivation. You stop chasing confidence, you live it. You stop surviving and start dominating. Number 4, start small, win daily. Start small, win daily, because success isn't built in a single day. It's built through small victories, stacked one after another until they become unstoppable momentum. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they try to change everything overnight. They set massive goals, make huge promises, and when the weight of those expectations crushes them, they quit. But the truth is, greatness starts with something small, one action, one habit, one decision at a time. You don't need to transform your whole life today. You just need to win today. Win the morning by getting up when your mind tells you to stay in bed. Win the day by completing one task that moves you forward. Win the night by knowing you gave your best. Each small victory builds belief, and belief creates momentum. The secret to unstoppable people isn't that they do extraordinary things once, it's that they do simple things consistently. When you start small, you make progress impossible to avoid because you're no longer chasing perfection, you're building direction. You're training your brain to associate effort with reward, not frustration. You're wiring yourself for consistency, not burnout. Remember, small doesn't mean insignificant. A single brick may not look like much, but when you lay it down every day, it becomes a fortress. One small step taken daily will always beat a giant leap taken once in a while. And that's how real discipline is born, not in one grand moment of motivation, but in hundreds of small moments where you choose to show up, even when no one's watching. When you win small, you teach your mind that progress is possible. And once your mind believes it, your life begins to prove it. Start small and keep your focus narrow. Don't worry about how far you have to go. Just focus on winning the next hour, the next task, the next step. Because one win becomes 2, 2 becomes 10, and before you know it, your consistency becomes your power. Every major transformation began as a series of small victories. Every strong body started with one workout. Every millionaire started with one disciplined day. Every leader began with one courageous choice. The problem is, most people underestimate the power of small wins. They want dramatic results without daily effort. But you must learn to respect the process. You must learn to celebrate the small victories that no one else sees, because those are the ones that truly matter. When you start small, you remove resistance. When you win daily, you create identity. You stop saying, "I'll try," and start saying, "I win." The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. It's not about being the best today. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Every small win compounds. It builds confidence, energy, and faith in your own potential. So make your wins visible to yourself. Check off your habits, write down your progress, celebrate your effort. That small act of recognition fuels your next step. Start small, win daily, and never stop. Because consistency doesn't just build habits, it builds warriors. It transforms ordinary people into disciplined machines who no longer wait for motivation. They act because it's who they are. So stop overthinking. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Take the first step, however small it may seem. Win today, and when tomorrow comes, win again. Because the one who learns to win small every day eventually wins big, not by luck, not by chance, but by relentless, daily, disciplined action. Final way. Number 5, stay accountable and keep going. Stay accountable and keep going, because without accountability, motivation dies, and without consistency, progress disappears. You can have the biggest dreams, the most powerful goals, and the best plans in the world, but if you're not holding yourself accountable, they mean nothing. Accountability is the glue between your intention and your results. It's what separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the achievers. When you hold yourself accountable, you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility for every decision, every habit, every outcome. You stop blaming the world for your situation and realize that your life is in your hands. That's real power. Most people don't lack ambition. They lack accountability. They don't follow through because there's no one, not even themselves, keeping them in check. But if you want to win in life, you need to become your own coach, your own enforcer. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and say, did I give my best today? Accountability isn't punishment, it's progress tracking. It's proof that you're serious about your goals. When you track your habits, review your actions, and measure your growth, you stay connected to the mission. You keep your standards high, your focus sharp, and your mind disciplined. Because when no one's watching, that's when character is built. It's easy to perform when eyes are on you. It's difficult to stay consistent when they're not. True accountability is doing what you said you'd do long after the mood you set it in has faded. And that's where greatness is born, in those quiet moments, where you choose to keep going, despite no applause, no validation, no recognition. Keep yourself surrounded by people who demand more of you, not those who make excuses for you. Iron sharpens iron, so be around people who make you uncomfortable with your own comfort. Let them remind you that you're capable of more, that you can push further, that settling is not an option. And when life gets heavy, don't quit. Accountability means you show up regardless of how you feel. Because discipline isn't about feelings, it's about standards. Every time you keep going when you could have stopped, you're rewriting your identity. You're telling your brain, I don't quit, I finish what I start. That mindset builds mental armor. The longer you keep going, the stronger your belief becomes. Momentum is built one accountable action at a time. You can't fake consistency, you either show up or you don't. So stay accountable to your goals, like your life depends on it, because it does. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of your accountability. Track your progress. Face your truth. Push yourself to do what you said you would, because the more accountable you become, the more unstoppable you get. Keep going when it's hard, because that's when most people give up. Keep going when you're tired, because that's when strength is built. Keep going when it feels pointless, because that's when breakthroughs happen. The path to greatness is paved with consistent accountability, daily promises kept, daily efforts made, daily standards raised. Don't let yourself down. Hold the line. Push forward. Because one day when you look back, you'll realize that every step you refused to skip became the foundation of the life you built. Stay accountable and keep going, because the world doesn't reward those who start strong. It rewards those who finish relentless.